Good day, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode here on True Confessions Naija. Today's confession is like any other. It comes from a young sister who lived a life that most of us can't imagine. Her story is painful, full of secrets, betrayals, and terrifying truths about the man everyone believed was a man of God, but behind the scenes, he was something else entirely. Let's begin. Hello, Bros Ori. I'm always known something wasn't right. My childhood felt like a curse. I couldn't escape. While other kids were loved by their parents, hugged and kissed, I was treated like a mistake, like a burden. My father was not just any father. He was one of the most powerful and well-known prophets in Nigeria. People come from all over the world to see him. They called him Man of God. They cried at his feet, desperate for healing, for miracles, for blessings. But to me, to his own daughter, he was a monster. I was born into pain. My mother told me she was already broken when she met my father. She was young, living on the rough streets of Lagos, working as a prostitute just to eat. My father found her when she was at her lowest. He didn't come with love. He came with promises, luxury, peace, a better life. They were all lies. He told her, God has a plan for you and that he will take care of her. But what he really wanted was to own her, to use her. And my mother, too broken to see the truth, fell for him. She became one of many women he saved. She wasn't special. He had dozens, maybe even hundreds of women just like her. He didn't love any of them. He already had a wife, children, and family. When she got pregnant with me, everything changed. The sweet promises turned into cold threats. My mother wanted to have an abortion. She tried many times, but he stopped her. Not because he cared about me, but because he had plans for me. He used her past against her. He told her she was dirty, that no man would ever love her, that the only reason she was still breathing was because she carried his child. Years later, when I was old enough to understand, he would tell me to my face, "You were a mistake. You were never meant to be born, but I kept you for a purpose." Do you know what it's like to hear that from your own father? To be told you were dedicated to the devil before you were even born? I was just a child trying to survive, but he was a powerful man, respected, feared, untouchable. When I looked at the TV, newspapers, and saw people crying in joy as they touched his feet, I felt sick. How could they not see what he really was? He abused my mother. He abused me. But no one would ever believe us. When I turned 14 years old, my life changed forever. My father said he wanted me to meet my siblings. He said, "You are ready now to be part of the family." I was excited. I thought I was finally going to belong somewhere. I thought maybe he was finally accepting me. But he lied. Instead of taking me to my siblings, he took me to a huge mansion far away from the city. I had my own room, expensive clothes, good food, but I was alone. And then the brainwashing began. He started poisoning my mind, telling me my mother was evil, that she had tried to kill me before I was born, that she was jealous of my destiny. I started to believe him. I stopped talking to my mother. I even told her I wish she was dead, that I was dead to her. She cried to me every night, but I didn't care. My father had turned me into his puppet. Then one night, he took me on a trip deep into the dark forest. He said he wanted to pray. We climbed a steep hill, covered in trees and strange statues. I saw pictures hanging from branches, some in bottles, some inside clay pots. He said these were pictures of his followers, people from America, Europe, even Asia, people who believed in him. He told me each picture was tied to a blessing or a curse, and then he told me to lie down on a rock. I was confused, but I obeyed. He raised a knife above me and whispered something in a strange language. I was terrified. I thought he was going to kill me. He looked in my eyes and said, "This is how Abraham proved his love to God. Now I prove mine." He didn't kill me, but there was blood on the rock, fresh blood. I realized then this was a place of sacrifice, but it didn't end there. He raped me right there, on that rock, his own daughter. When I cried, he told me to shut up, that I should be proud, that I was special, that I was chosen. He said I was not initiated. I stayed quiet. I didn't fight because I knew if I did, I might not come out of that forest alive. When we returned to the mansion, I kept quiet. I acted like everything was fine, but I was dying inside. Days later, I got a chance to leave. One of the drivers took me down to buy clothes. I used the moment to escape. I ran and never looked back. My mother was waiting. She still loved me. Even after everything, we left the city and hid in the villages, moving from one place to another, always afraid he would find us, but he never did. He died a few years later. People mourned. They called him a saint, a hero, a prophet. But I knew the truth. He was not a man of God. He was a man of the devil. And I was almost one of his sacrifices. To those of you listening, I want you to remember this. Just because someone wears a collar, preaches on TV, or owns a church does not make them holy. Evil hides in many faces. Sometimes, even the ones we are told to trust the most. If you are out there hurting, abused, or hiding, please know that you're not alone. Speaking up when you can, run when you can, fight to survive, because your life is worth more than any title, any lie, or any fake prophet. Thank you for listening to my confession. Dear listeners, right there is a message that was sent to us by one of our sisters. If you would like to share your story, my inbox is always open. And to those who feel touched by my story, please leave a comment or message of support below. By speaking out, we begin to break the change. Strange things do happen in this world of ours. Now, wow.